Welcome to the Olive Twist. Today we hope to educate you a little bit on olive oil and balsamic vinegar and hopefully make it so that you can make a great educated decision for yourself on picking out what olive oil works best for your family. So we have here our extra virgin first cold pressed olive oil. It goes from a mild to a more robust. Extra virgin means that the olives are picked within 2 to 4 hours and processed within 2 to 4 hours from the time that they're picked. They have to be of superior quality. They cannot have any defects whatsoever, and they are not heated over 70 degrees by our importers' regulations and by 86 degrees by government regulations. It has to be the first pressing of the olives, not the second, third, fourth, or fifth. And on all of our extra virgin olive oil, we have what we call fusti's here, and you'll see that there is a chemical makeup chart on each one of the fusti's, and it will tell you what kind of polyphenol count, oleic acid, free fatty acid, and oleic acid is in each of the olive oils. And the thing that really is very important is you want to have a high polyphenol count and a high oleic acid. You want to have a low peroxide value and a low free fatty acid. As the olive oil starts to age, it goes like this. When it surpasses, it becomes rancid. And we have a rancid bottle here that you can smell. And once your olive oil starts to smell like this, you need to toss it. This also goes for plain olive oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, anything of that nature. We get the freshest that we can get by getting from both the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. So during the summer months, we get our olive oil from Chile, Argentina, Australia, and Peru. And then during the northern hemisphere crush, we get right after the first of the year coming from California, Italy, Spain, Tunisia, and Greece. And so that way you get the freshest that you possibly can here in the United States. We also put on the back of our bottles the crush date so that you know that you have 1 year from the crush date to use the olive oil before it starts to go rancid. So keep in mind when you're at a grocery store and you're looking at an Italian olive oil in October, that is almost a year old and it's going to start to go rancid fairly quick. You need to pay attention to the crush date. That is more important than a use by date or a sell by date. With tasting olive oil, what you want to do is take a little bit in a cup and you take and warm it up. Let the oxygen flow through and blend the flavors. Once it's blended, you sniff it like a fine wine. Slurp it between your 2 front teeth, let it hit the roof of your mouth and fall over all of your taste buds. You'll get a peppery sensation in the back of your throat, which is a good sign. Matter of fact, we say 1 cough, 2 cough, 3 cough, good. So the more coughs you have, the better it is for you. Sniff, slurp, and then you get that little peppery sensation. Our importer actually goes through, does the testing, makes sure that it's a very balanced olive oil before they even send it to us for us to sell. And they ship it to us in quantities, and then we bottle here at our store. And so that way you know exactly what you're going home with. The one thing that you want to think about when you go to the grocery store and you look at that big wall of olive oil is that you always want to make sure that it's in a dark container. So glass, dark colors. You don't want the ones on the top shelf because the light's shining down on it. You want something that's back in a little bit, and you want to look at the crush date and make sure that it is fresh. The other thing that you want to consider is you always want to have extra virgin first cold press, because that is the only olive oil that goes directly from the tree, is rinsed off in plain water and then crushed, whereas you go to an olive oil which can be processed. Olive oil, just plain olive oil, can be sitting for a longer period of time before it is produced. It can be last year's crush and already be rancid. They run it through a deodorizing system, and then they add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil to bring some flavor back. So it is chemically altered. And then you have light olive oil. And light olive oil was kind of one of those things back in the early 70s that everybody thought, you know, I'm going on a diet, this has got to be better for me. And in reality, It has 120 calories, which is exactly what extra virgin first cold press has. So a real huge misconception. And then they also run it through a deodorizing system, so they all taste the same. And they run it through a bleaching system so that it becomes lighter in color. And it was just kind of a ploy to sell olive oil. And it's actually one of the worst things that you can put into the body, where extra virgin first cold press takes the free radicals and removes them from your body. When something's processed, it does the opposite and pulls those free radicals together. So hopefully that'll help you make a better decision on your olive oil purchases. Thank you, and feel free to ask any questions at any time. We'd be glad to help you out.